Hello, Chaturi.
Yes.
Chaturi,
Yes.
you are the host today, so then we can't go through the YouTube.
I started the YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We probably want to resume the recording though.
Okay.
I'm gonna restart the recording.
Yeah, you do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning,
Now we are
Bhante.
going to start today's
Bhante.
talk.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning. Today I'm going to speak on a very, very important discourse. Of course, all the discourses are very important.
Good morning, Bhante.
Okay, good morning. Now you can turn off your video and audio and just listen so that I can continue my talk. Otherwise, if you talk while I'm talking, there will be a lot of confusion. Okay? Okay. Today we are going to talk on Migasālā Sutta. Migasālā. Migasālā is a lay woman, very devoted woman. One day she invited Venerable Ananda to her house. Let me read this discourse for you to see, you to hear, because it is on the screen. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Guru Anathapindika's park. Then, in the morning, the Venerable Ananda dressed, took his bowl and robe, and went to the house of the female lay follower Migasālā, where he sat down on the seat prepared for him. Then the female lay disciple Migasālā approached the Venerable Ananda, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said, Bhante Ananda, just how should this teaching of the Blessed One be understood? Where one who is celibate and one who is not celibate both have exactly the same destination in the future life. My father, Purana, was celibate, living apart, abstaining from sexual intercourse, the common person's practice. When he died, the Blessed One declared he attained to the state of once returner and has been reborn in the Tusita group of Devas. My paternal uncle Isidatta was not celibate, but lived a contented married life. When he died, the Blessed One also declared he attained to the state of once returner and has been reborn in Tusita heaven of Devas. Bhante, Ananda, just how should this teaching of the Blessed One be understood, where one who is celibate and one who is not celibate both have exactly the same destination in their future lives. Now, Purana is Migasālā's father. After her birth, Purana practiced celibacy. Is it that her father's brother, paternal uncle, continued his married life and has sex with his wife, but when he died, the Buddha said that he also attained the one eternal state, and after that he was reborn into Sutta heaven. I just, in this sister, then when she made this complaint to Venerable Ananda said it was just in this sister that the Blessed One declared. That was not an answer. He simply confirmed what Migasālā already knew. Then Venerable Ananda had received alms food at Migasālā's house. He rose from his seat and departed. After his meal, on returning from his alms round, he went to the Blessed One and paid away to him and passed down one side, and he reported this, what Migasālā told him. And then, we don't have to repeat that. Then Buddha said, who indeed is female lay follower Migasālā, a foolish, incompetent woman with woman's intelligence. This is not an insult to women, but she did not have full knowledge of everything, and therefore how does she know all this? And who are those who have the knowledge of other persons as superior and inferior? And therefore, don't compare these two people without knowing the entire mechanism of Dhamma, how Dhamma works. There are, Ananda, these 10 types of person found existing in the world. What 10? Now Buddha is going to explain how this solve this puzzle, this dilemma of Migasālā. Actually, that is a puzzle for anybody. So Buddha was fully enlightened. He knew everything. You know, these days, many people, without knowing everything, they come to a conclusion. This is the truth and everything is wrong. Anyway, Buddha explained this. He said, here, Ananda, there is one person who is immoral and does not understand as it really is. That liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that immorality of his ceases without remainder. And he has not listened to the teachings, become learned in them, penetrated them by views, and he does not attain temporary liberation. With the breakup of the body after death, he leads for deterioration, not for distinction. He is one going to deterioration, not distinction. Now, what is this temporary liberation? And this person does not have Aryakanta Sila. Aryakanta Sila is even the 5 precepts, according to Vibhanga Sutta and Samyutta Nikaya, even the 5 precepts one can observe with celibacy, Abrahmacharya Veramani. In the Noble Eightfold Path, normally we have right action, Pranatipada, Adinadana, Kamesamichachara. But in Vibhanga Sutta and Samyutta Nikaya, Buddha explained in Vibhanga, Pranatipata, Adinadana, Abrahmacharya Veramani. So, ordinary person in that respect is they don't have a Aryakanta Siva. Therefore, they are, although conventionally they are virtuous, but in this respect they are immoral. And also they don't understand the liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom. Cheto vimukti, panyamiti, they don't know. Where all the immorality would be of his cease without remainder. And he has not listened to the teachings, become learned in them. The person does not know the Dhamma, has not listened to Dhamma, has not penetrated it, and therefore does not attain temporary liberation. Temporary liberation is liberation attaining Sotapanna is temporary liberation. Sakadagami, temporary liberation. Anagami liberation, Arahanthood is not temporary liberation. It is permanent liberation. The temporary doesn't mean that they are going to lose it. But that is called in Pali Samaya Vimutta. There is a time for the attainment of the rest. There is a time. Anyway, so this is one person. After death, this person, there's a possibility for this person to deteriorate. That means since he has not attained even the stream entry, his destination is not certain. He can be reborn in lower place, animal kingdom and so on. Only guarantee you get is when you attain the stream entry, and therefore deterioration. Heads for deterioration. Since he has not attained this, his future is not definite. Then the second person, Ananda, there is one person who is immoral and yet understands as it really is that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that immorality of his ceases without remainder. So he knows, although he was not observing celibacy, and yet with wisdom he understands as it really is, that liberation, and he has listened to them, become learned person, penetrated them by view, and attained temporary liberation. So this is Migasālāya's uncle's situation. He was not celibate, but he understood the Dhamma, and he knew what Cheturmukti, Panyamukti is, and he learned the Dhamma, penetrated it, and penetrated by view. Dittipat. Ditti means view. What view? Right view. Right view is gained when one attains the stream entry. Therefore, stream enterer is called Ditthipata. And he has attained temporary liberation. He has more to do, and yet he can be stream enterer or once returner. And Ananda, those who are judgmental will pass such judgment on them. This one has the same quality as the other. Why should one be inferior and the other superior? That judgment of others will indeed lead their harm and suffering for a long time. Now, one should not judge or compare one with the other without knowing all the facts and figures. When he does this comparison, that will be harmful to him and that kind of comparison will lead them, cause them harm and lead them suffering. Between them, Ananda, the person who is immoral and who understands as it really is, that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that immorality of his ceases without remainder, who has listened to teaching and is become a learned person, by view, and who attains temporary liberation, surpasses and excels the other person. Even though he is immoral, he will understand Dhamma, penetrated it, and he liberated temporarily. That means attained the stream entry or once eternal. Therefore, without knowing this fully well, don't make any comparison. Therefore, do not be judgmental regarding people. This is a very simple thing that ordinary people, without knowing anything, they compare themselves with others in various areas. Do not pass judgment on people. This is a very important discourse for us to remember, that Buddha even very specifically mentioned that we should not make any judgment, pass judgment on others. Those who pass judgment on people harm themselves. I alone or one like me may pass judgment on people. That means only the Buddha alone can pass judgment on others. Why? Because Buddha is the only one who had a parachitta vijnana jnana, the knowing the mind of others by one's own mind. Buddha mind was pure and clean. He has developed parachitta vijnana jnana, dibba jakku, dibba sota, and so forth. Therefore, he is the only one who can do that. Okay, number 3. Then, Ananda, there is one person who is virtuous yet does not understand as it really is that liberation. He may be observing morality, but he does not understand as it really is that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom. He does not know. Although he is moral, but he does not know the Dhamma very well. And therefore, he does not attain temporary liberation. He can be good moral person. That doesn't guarantee that he is liberated, that he can attain liberation. Observing morality is absolutely necessary, but not sufficient for attaining liberation. That is third person. The fourth person is Ananda. There is a person who is virtuous and understand. This person is not only virtuous, but understand the Dhamma as it really is. That liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that virtuous behavior of his ceases without remainder. Now, where that virtuous behavior of his ceases without remainder. That means that virtuous behavior it comes to an end when we attain liberation. That means he doesn't become immoral and unvirtuous, but it has reached its culmination in the attainment of stream entry or one's eternal state. Ananda, those who are judgmental will pass such judgment on them. I alone, the Buddha, only the one who can do this judgment, who can pass judgment on people. And Ananda, there is one person who is strongly prone to lust and does not understand as it really is that Dhamma. One who is full of lust, and that is he is obsessed with lust. And therefore he does not understand the Dhamma. And therefore and it really does not understand Dhamma as it really is. And also he does not know liberation, Chetomiti Panyamiti, how one attains liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom. By the way, liberation of mind means attaining jhanas. Liberation by wisdom means attaining vipassana. Jhana and vipassana, samatha, vipassana. Now one does not understand what tranquility meditation liberation is, how one liberates through wisdom. He does not know. And therefore, his lust, when they attain that liberation, his lust ends, know that. And he is not listening to Dhamma, and does not penetrate it, and does not attain liberation, temporary liberation. Why? Because he is full of lust. 6%. There is one person who is strongly prone to lust, but yet understands as it really is that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom. So he is full of lust, and he knows as long as he has lust, he cannot gain concentration, attain tranquility meditation, jhanas, and attain insight meditation, the results of insight meditation. That is liberated by wisdom. So he may practice Dhamma meditation and so forth, and he may understand. Because of his understanding, even though he has lust, he will manage to overcome hindrances and attain jhanas, and then eventually he attain liberation, partial liberation, either stream entry or one's eternal stage. That is called attainment of temporary liberation. And 7th person, Ananda, there is one person who is prone to anger and does not understand as it really is, that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, that anger of his ceases without remainder. Now, one is full of anger. On the top of that, he also does not understand Dhamma. Of course, when the mind is obsessed with anger, and he does not, his mind is not open for understanding Dhamma, because he hates everybody. Maybe he may hate even the Dhamma, and therefore he cannot attain liberation, where anger ceases without remainder. But unfortunately, his mind is obsessed with anger. This is the 7th person. Now, 8%. There's 1% who is prone to anger, yet understands as it really is that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that anger of his ceases without remainder. Now, this person has anger. He is his temperament is angry temperament, and but through the practice of Dhamma, he understands Dhamma, and therefore he managed to overcome his anger. One of the hindrances, one of the fetters, Kamacchanda Vyapada. Vyapada is anger. When one attains the third level of enlightenment, anger will completely cease, doesn't arise again. So anyway, he is also understand that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom. That is, he understand tranquility meditation and overcome his anger in order to gain the results of tranquility meditation, and he overcome anger completely in order to liberate through by wisdom, by attaining third level of enlightenment. He knows that because he understands Dhamma. When he understands Dhamma, he knows how to put it into practice. And even though he has anger, he managed to overcome anger. This is his practice of anger management. Anger management. Okay, then 9. The other part is repeated the same way. And Ananda, there is one person who is restless and does not understand as it really is, that liberation of mind, that liberation by wisdom, where the restlessness ceases without remainder. Now, restlessness and worry, a pair of hindrances, go together. Restlessness is restlessness remain even until one attains the arahanthood. Uddhacha, kukucha go together as hindrance, but uddhacha remains even one until one attains full arahanthood. Or one has to overcome, completely destroy arahanthood, restlessness to attain arahanthood. Now, restlessness and worry arises so long as the person has guilty feeling. Person's morality is not good, breaking the precepts. Then a person when the precepts are broken, he feels guilty. And therefore he would worry, and because of that worry he becomes restless. Mind becomes restless. And therefore, at the same time, he does not understand Dhamma in order to get rid of this restlessness and worry. And therefore, he will not have temporary liberation, anagami stage, let alone arahanthood, and therefore it is prone to go down the hill after his deterioration. He is one going to deterioration, not to distinction. Now the 10th person is the final stage. Ananda, there is one person who is restless, yet understands as it really is that liberation of mind, liberation by wisdom, where that restlessness of his ceases without remainder, and he has listened to teachings become learned in them, penetrated them by view, and attain temporary liberation with the break-up of the body after death. He heads for distinction, not for deterioration. He is one going to distinction, not to deterioration. Now, when he remove his restlessness as hindrance, he can attain jhanas. When he destroy restlessness in before attaining arahanthood, he can attain arahanthood. So, with the breakup, when he has not completely attained enlightenment in this life, after that, he heads for distinction. Then he can head for the attainment of full enlightenment. Never for deterioration. He is one going to distinction, not to deterioration. Then Buddha was so perfect, he knew everything. Ananda, those who are judgmental will pass such judgment on them. This one has the same quality as the others, as the other. Why should one be inferior and the other superior? That judgment of theirs will indeed lead to their own harm and suffering. So Buddha said that until you attain Buddhahood, or somebody who is fully enlightened with supernatural powers, the fact that one attained enlightenment doesn't mean that that person has supernatural powers. That is a very special training. And the Buddha naturally had supernatural powers. His disciples, arahants, even when Sariputta, who is the wisest of all the wise monks, did not have supernatural powers. So, and therefore, even he did not try to compare people. Between them, Ananda, person who is restless and who understands as it really is, that liberation of mind, that liberation by wisdom, where that restlessness of his ceases without remainder. Who has listened to the teachings of the Buddha, become learned in that teaching, penetrated them by view, and who attains temporary liberation, surpasses and excels the other person. For what reason? What reason? Because the Dhamma stream carries him alone. But who can know this difference except the Tathagata? Who else can know this except the Tathagata? Therefore, Ananda, do not be judgmental regarding people. This is very important statement. Do not pass judgment on people. Those who pass judgment on people harm themselves. I alone or one like me. One like me means either another Buddha or partially attained Pacceka Buddha or an Arahant may pass judgment on others. Now, who indeed is the female lay follower Migasālā, a foolish, incompetent woman with woman's intellect? And who are those who have the knowledge of other persons as superior and inferior? These are the 10 types of person found existing in the world. Now, Migasālā has not attained any state of enlightenment, not even Sotapanna. and therefore her knowledge is limited. And it has lot of maybe biases. Chanda, dosa, bhaya, moha, she may have biases. All those who have not attained enlightenment can have biases. Bias of greed, anger, fear, and confusion. These are 4 types of biases. People who have not attained enlightenment can be biased because of this presence of them. And therefore, Ananda, if Isiddhartha had possessed the same kind of virtuous behavior that Purana had, Purana could not have even known his destination. And if Purana had possessed the same kind of wisdom that Isiddhartha had, Isiddhartha could not have even known his destination. In this way, Ananda, these 2 persons were each deficient in one respect. Now, although they were brothers, Isiddhartha and Purana, Isiddhartha cannot know Purana's mind, Purana cannot know Isiddhartha's mind, and therefore even they themselves, none of them is qualified to compare him with the other. So you can see the extent that that Buddha gave us to keep in mind for not making a distinction or making a judgment or pass judgment on others. And therefore, this is a very important discourse. See the variation of characteristics, and depending on them, because of the variations, one can either attain enlightenment or does not attain enlightenment, depending on those qualities. The fact that one is moral does not guarantee that he can attain enlightenment. One is free from anger doesn't guarantee that they can attain enlightenment. One who is free from lust doesn't guarantee that he attain enlightenment. One who has free from restlessness doesn't mean that he has attained enlightenment. But at the same time, with all these qualities, one must understand the mechanism of Dhamma, the way how our minds work, and way how the Dhamma operates in our mind. So only the Buddha could know all these things, and therefore what Venerable Ananda see, Venerable Ananda had a Sotapanna, and still he did not tell Migasālā his opinion. He came to the Buddha and got it clarified from the Buddha, and therefore who are we to judge others? Friends, this may be enough for today's Dhamma talk, and now we do meditation. Okay? Yeah.
Sadhu.
I see. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. All right. Now let us meditate. Okay, ready? May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate all the world, a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake, one should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here. Not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. Now, friends, let us meditate. We have very short time, and let us meditate. By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So friends, this is the end of today's session. I hope you have learned something very, very important for our life. May all those who are in hospital suffering from various diseases, may they recover very soon and return to normal life so that they can practice Dhamma, meditation, understand the Dhamma, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses, hospital staffs also find time to practice meditation, Dhamma, and understand the nature of life and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all those who have lost their loved ones may still be grieving. May they understand the nature of life and get rid of their own grief and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. Then all those who are in trouble, especially in various parts of the world, war zones, poverty-stricken, discrimination, also find time to understand the nature of life, nature of greed, hatred, delusion, and practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, north, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below. All of them be well, happy and peaceful. May they all attain liberation from samsaric suffering. So friends, this is the end of today's session, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning with your questions. And have a very wonderful day.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Sadhu,
Bhante.
sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu.
Everyone,
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu.
Thiruvan Saranai.
Thiruvan Saranai.